And what is the deal, man? What is happening? What is going on? You are back for another live episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. And today we're going to be tapping in with the 2025 NFL draft class for the Las Vegas Raiders, man. We're going to be going in, giving my solo grades and pretty much giving the solo take on the draft, man. We're going to have the overall grade at the end. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Definitely tap in with the comment section as we always do. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead. Let's get this funky music going and let's get the show cracking. What is the deal? What is happening? What is going on, man? Like I said, you are back for another episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. Like we always do, make sure you guys are tapping on that like and subscribe button for your boy, man. It's always greatly appreciated. But like you already know, man, like I said, we're going through the 2025 draft class today. We are trying to give some grades, right? You feel what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and go through each pick. My thoughts on it, kind of my solo grades, and then we're going to go through expectations as well, right? What we expect the role is supposed to be with the team going forward, right? And if they exceed that or if they don't, we already got the ceiling or floor on what, we may have the opinions on, right? So without further ado, man, before we start this thing, y'all already know what time it is, man. We got to go ahead and give a shout out to the people that's in the chat, man. My guy Raider7528 says, let's go Knicks. Knicks in 5 versus the Pistons. Hey, the Knicks are an interesting bunch, bro. They're an interesting bunch. But basketball, bro, I'm trying to get into basketball. My pop's been trying to get me into basketball for years. I'm barely getting the love of it, but I don't know, bro. Like when you come from football and then you trying to watch basketball, I don't know what it is. Maybe the competitiveness is just different. But I don't feel the same. I just don't feel the same. Maybe it's because NFL got the finality of it too. You feel what I'm saying? The playoffs is different for me from football, but at the same time, I'm trying to get into basketball. I'm trying to see what's happening. The Lakers are tonight, so that for sure I know, right? And they about to get their ass stomped on if they don't do what they supposed to do today. Tony in the building, man. What's the deal? And make sure y'all stay towards the end, man. Not only are we going to go ahead and touch on the overall draft grade, but we got a debate on here that we have to settle, right? And I'm not going to reveal it to the end, but there is a debate that here on the rundown, we're going to have to settle it. All right. And I need answers. So we're going to wait till the end till we talk about that. My guy, man, Dre for sure in the building as he always is, man. Appreciate you, family. What's the deal, man? My guy, DJ in the building. What's going on, family? What's up, man? See, you got to be in it since the Jordan days. You know what I mean? Hey, look, that's my pops, man. That's why, you know what I mean? He is the way he is. But me, hey, football first love, man. That's just what it is for me. Raider Biggs, man. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Salute. Hey, man, salute to everybody that's in the chat now, that's watching me right now, man. But everybody, if you're coming into the show or late or whatever the case is, man, just hit on that like button for your boy, as you already know, man, and tap in with the conversation, because I always say, man, the show don't move without y'all, and as much love as we are. And, before we continue, man, I just want to, usually I don't move in this direction, bro, but at the same time, like, sometimes, man, it just is what it is, man. As of today, the rundown is officially LLC certified, man. We out here, man. We getting it in. So that's much thanks to y'all, bro. We trying to make this thing real serious. We trying to make this thing into something, right? So again, bro, it's all thanks to y'all that be watching me in the chat and all that extra jazz, man. We ain't gonna get too emotional on this goddamn show because of this. We gonna wait till we stack some real chip. But for sure, appreciate y'all as always, man. We're gonna continue to grow this thing till it's the best Raider YouTube channel out in the market, as y'all know. But last but not least, hold up. My guy Bloody Raider in the building, man. What's going on, fam? Salute. And Raider Way in the building as well, man. Salute. So, all right, man, here we are, man. The draft is over. I'm low-key thankful that the draft is over, in my opinion. You get the fatigue. Like, for me, bro, I start getting the fatigue. Like, when you watch it, you watch the film, you pick out the players you're going to watch, whatever the case. And then after you get your opinion on them, then it's just a whole month or month and a half of just people either talking shit about that person or saying why this dude sucks or like, I'm tired of that. I'm done. Now it's real football to be played. Finally. Right? I'm tired of all this. He said, she said, will he, won't he shit. Like now we gonna know. Right now we gonna know. And we're going to go through our picks. There are some picks that initially before the draft I may not have agreed, but then we're going to go through expectations as well for these picks. Because now that certain guys are here, or just certain guys are here, period. What I want to do for my channel now as we continue to grow, we want to go ahead and start talking about like realistic expectations for some of these people, right? And sometimes realistic does mean high, realistic does mean mid, or it may mean nothing at all, right? So we have to be realistic with what we expect from these players. And if we're pleasantly surprised, so be it, right? So be it. So let's start off with the first one and the obvious one, of course, the one that everybody, like, surprisingly enough, my mentions wasn't flooded with, oh, hey, I told you so. Hey, I told you we picked him. But, right, we started off with none other than Ashton Jeanty. Right, you got to start off with Ashton Jeanty, man. And if you were like me, you didn't want him at first, right? You didn't want him at first, and not because he's not a talented player. You just say, I just don't want to run him back at this point. But he's on the squad now, and this is probably like the last couple days that I'll say that, right? When I'm talking about I didn't want him at first or whatever, I'm not gonna keep harping on that all off season, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he's a Raider now, so there's no point in either way, shape, or fashion to continue to say that. So this is probably the last week I'm going to continue to say that. But we start there, right? As y'all know, y'all been on the channel, right? I did a whole deep dive breakdown of Ashton Jeanty. It's on the channel if y'all want to go see that in further detail, right? But for me, the center focus of this conversation when it surrounds Jeanty is the expectation now. Right? Like that's where I'm at. What's the expectation? Because now that we have him, and like I said, I'm not going to continue to sit here and be like, oh man, we shouldn't have picked. It is what it is. Now that we have him, what we have to start saying, well, what are we going to get now? Right? What are we going to get? And I think I posed this question on X, man. And some of y'all follow me on X, man. Some of y'all don't even have it. What it is, what it is. But I posed the question. What are we expecting to get? Right? Like, and I got a lot of interesting responses. So I'm going to put this question up right here, and I kind of want y'all response too before I go into it. Right? So the question that I posed to everybody and I'll pose to y'all right here in the chat is, right, how many yards all purpose are we expecting this man Ashton Jeanty to get is my question. Right? How many yards all purpose are we expecting him to get this year? I just want to know the answer to this question right here, because and keep in mind, I said all purpose. We're not talking about rushing. Just strictly rushing is different, right? When I say all purpose, I'm talking about rushing and receiving. So both combined. So what are we expecting to see? I kind of want to hear from y'all in the chat real quick, and then, we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll talk. What's going on, man? Salute, Panda. Salute. My guy Dixon in the building. Salute. DJ 1600. All purpose. Okay. 1,200. Panda. Now keep in mind, I said all purpose now. That means receiving and rushing. So you mean to tell me that out of the two stats, he's only supposed to get 1,200? I don't know. Dixon, he says 15 all purpose. See, now, and then if I continue to scroll, right, I see 1,300 here, right? 1 million, 1,300 here. Just for me, right? This is where the conversation of expectation comes into play, right? And my boy says 1,490, so about 15. All right. 12, 300 at least. All right. And this is where it comes into me, bro. Like, it's like I was sold on the generational talk, right? I was sold on this is a different type of running back, right? And that's not even condescending tones. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Y'all was with me on the draft night. We had pops in my goddamn ear 4 straight hours, 3 straight days. Genty's the guy. You go on Twitter, right? And you pose questions. No, you're tripping if you don't want him. Now, if you're sitting here telling me that, there's no way in hell I'm going to sit here and accept no 1,200 yards all purpose. This is not going to happen. Sorry. If we and you know, we'll probably lose some people off the views or some subscribers after I say this. But if he comes out here after this year and he only give us 1,100, 1,200 yards all purpose, the wrath that y'all will feel, some of you, the wrath that you will feel for me will be tremendous. The heat, you won't be able to fucking hide anywhere. I will find you, right? I have receipts, and I hope that this man is the greatest running back in Raiders history. I swear to God, I do. Like, because I want him to have a successful career. I was saying this from the jump, bro. I want him to come in here and be able to have a good, smooth runway, right? For him to do what he's supposed to do. But now that all of y'all have sold me on the talk, right? He don't need the greatest offensive line. He don't need this and that. Fine. If that's the case, dog, I expect 1,500, no less. This is first year. 1,500, no less. If I get less than 1,500, oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's gonna be a shame. The shit I'm gonna do to y'all. It's gonna be a shame. So for me, bro, I need 1,500 minimum, right? Because we're talking about all purpose. I know some people are going to talk about Bijan, and some people are going to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs and their stats. But Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson were not picked as high. They were not picked as high as this man right here. Again, if you compare the two prospects, I was told that Genty's better than Bijan coming out. Now, all of a sudden, we want to backtrack and not say that anymore. Like, all of a sudden, we want to temper expectation. No, we're not going to temper no expectation. When we were getting ready to select this man, all y'all had the highest of hopes, and some of y'all even said he's better than Barry Sanders. Now, I'm not going to hold that against him because y'all knew that was asinine, but this is what was said. So, okay, now that we hear, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we're just going to mosey him along, and we're just gonna bring him in slow. We don't want to burn him. Nah, fuck that. We're not talking about burnout now. Nah, we done drafted this man top 10 overall. I better see the motherfucking tires screeching. I don't want to hear about no goddamn burnout. You get this shit right, man, and you feed him. And this man better be getting us 1,500 plus. Now, if he gives me 1,200 rushing or whatever the case, but the receiving is up there, and this is where I think it's getting some of y'all, right? His receiving game should be on display immediately, right? Because in 2023, again, another argument that people made, in 2023, he was receiving the ball more, and I saw more of that receiving prowess, right? That he has. That he can, if you get him in open space, he's just difficult to tackle, right? So I'm expecting that to come into the forefront immediately. That's just what it is. Rushing will do. We got to see what the line is, right? I as much as I think he can be good, again, and this is what I was saying before the draft, we got to see how the line gels. Again, like, you have 5 dudes that are like the main crux of his success, right? It's not just Genty himself. Like, yeah, we can take Genty. He's cool. But there are 5 dudes that are instrumental to Genty's success. And if them 5 dudes ain't right, well then, right? We're not gonna see what we're supposed to see. So rushing, I'm not gonna really hold him against, right? Because I gotta see how the line gels. I gotta see who starts and blah blah blah. I'll probably know all that by the preseason, just by the eye test. You feel what I'm saying? We'll know that then. But receiving, oh no, I better get that. I better get screens. I better get a couple Texas routes, couple out routes out the backfield. Can I line him up in the slot? I don't think they'll do that immediately. I don't think they'll line him up at the slot and do all that extra jazz. Maybe if you want to go against a linebacker and shit, we'll do that. But nah, I'm not. But I do expect our screen game to be up there, right? If Geno needs to dump the ball off quickly, I expect him to be there, right? I just any type of receiving threat now, I think you can use him. So for me, bro, 1,500, no less. That's what I expect from this man. Of course, I mean, expectations, starter, bell cow, right? You feel what I'm saying? 18 to 20 carries a game, maybe even more, depending on how the game is going and, you know, how shit's flowing, how Mostert's health looks and all that extra, right? So 20 carries, I think that's what you're getting. And then, you know, some people will say, hey, you don't want to burn them out. Newsflash, big dog. You drafted a running back in the top 10 again. We can't fuck the burnout talk, right? When you draft a running back top 10, hey, you drafted him knowing you putting your line on the line. You putting life on the line, soldier. Front lines. That's just what it is, dog. It's what we did with Josh. Almost ran his ass into the ground, didn't we? Till he said, hey, I got to get up out of here. Now, he wasn't no top 10 running back. It's a difference, right? He wasn't no top 10 running back. This right here, oh, no. Sad to say. It sucks to say because I don't want this, but they finna run this man to the ground. If it's real, if it's real deal. If it's real deal, bro, they gonna run this man to the ground. Because again, I don't think, me personally, unless the line is doing their goddamn thing, I don't think he's that type of running back where he's just gonna be breaking all these 60-yard fucking runs all the time. I think he wears the defenses down, wears them down, and then breaks the yardage. I think that's what it's going to be. Because a multitude of his runs, bro, like, yeah, you see a lot of long ass runs, but like if you watch like his games and shit, like a multitude of he has some sick ass 5 to 10 yard runs that just add up. And then that's when you get that goddamn 40, 50 yarder that you see on the highlights. So yeah, for me, that's where it's at right now. And I know I hear it. And I think looking at it, you want me to go? Look, just bring him in here. We got a baby situation, y'all. My bad. Bring him in here. He'll sit right here. Lord. It's like your kids just wait for you to get busy for them to start, you know. Like it's like bro was asleep the whole time. And then he just waits for me to start talking on the podcast to be like, well, you know what? Now I'm hungry. It's just wild stuff. But yeah, man, I definitely, you know, 1,500, 1,600. And that's not condescending. I expect greatness. It's what I want. It's what I was sold on. So let's do it. You feel what I'm saying? Versus division rivals, I expect him to cook. I think he dominates pretty much everyone but the Eagles. I think we give him the JJ treatment. Yeah, that means work. Yeah, you feel me? Give him some work. I think, you feel me? Like, again, 20 to 25. That's what I would do. FBA Vin, man. He says at the pick he has to hit the ground running. The first 3 picks have to contribute 100%. 100%. With Chip's system and our current coaching staff, our line should be competently ready. Yeah, competently, right? I agree with that. How much better they get from last year, that remains to be seen. We got to see, man. How much it remains to be seen. Oh, yeah. Y'all already know what time it is, man. His mama got him. Mama Rundown got him. No, so we good. Top 5 back, first season. If he lands somewhere at 6 to 7, I'll live with it. But I do want that. So let's move on, right? That'll probably be the main one. We spend most of the, you know me, when it comes to running backs, man, we spend most of the majority of the time. But we go to our second round. Oh, by the way, I give that pick a B. A B. So as far as Ashton Jeanty, I give it a B. Again, getting the running back, top 10, usually just of the draft position and the value. It's not really great, right? We talked about it already, but the talent is there. He can change things, right? Of course, as far as the talent level in the room and expectations, we expect him to come in here and do exactly that, change the running game. So, but because of the position and whatever the case, and my stance before, give it a B, right? So you give it a solid B for that pick. Next, the Jack Bech pick. That is the second round pick, and I think this is where we'll go here, right? With Bech. Before we continue, all right, look at you. Now all of a sudden you want to do something. Okay, so with Jack Bech, right? With Jack Bech, we have a lot of mixed reviews, right? A lot of mixed reviews on how we feel about Bech. When he was selected, I seen some people say, "What the fuck?" I seen some people say, "I'm good with it," and I seen some people be all in between. Before I look at y'all comments, I'm gonna just give my take. I like this pick. I like this pick. I like this pick. Some people say he went too far, right? Too far. Or too high, right? He went too high. But you know, we must remember context that we traded back twice, right? We traded back twice. I am of the belief that if Jaden Higgins would have got there at 37, we would have picked there. I'm of that belief. We would have probably picked Jaden Higgins had he would have fell to 37. But remember, you got to remember, bro, especially when you watching all these other people and all this extra shit, context matters, especially if they're not Raider people. Context matters. One of the better receivers that we could have taken was taken off the board before we even got there, right? Which was Jaden Higgins. I believe, who else? And I do believe that Ibuka left too. Ibuka went, right? He's gone. You look at Higgins, who was the next best one. He's gone, right? So I would have to look at the board a little bit more extensively. But I know that the guys that were there that we could have targeted for at least receiver, Luther Burden, I believe, taken, right? Luther Burden taken. So, and even so, right, with Luther, I liked Luther, but I even said it from the beginning. We didn't need that type of that body receiver, right? And when I say that, I'm saying he's like, what, 6 foot, 180 something? Straight Tucker. We don't need that. We need bigger bodies in both the corner room and the receiver room. Like and everybody just wants to stockpile the small guy. Our whole receiver room can't be small, right? If Jacoby Myers is our tallest goddamn receiver, it's a problem. It's a problem. We need more than that. So again, I wasn't tripping off the Luther Burden pick. He's talented, but it's like, all right, bro, like we didn't need that skill set, right? Didn't need that skill set. So the only directions that you would go, right? Only directions you would go. Now you could have said Will Johnson if that was your pick, but for me, bro, I've already said it. I'm not taking no injury prone player before the draft. I'm not doing that shit no more. So now you look at the receivers. We're strictly talking on that. You had Trey Harris there, and then you had Jack Bech. For me, and again, we traded back twice, but for me, bro, I believe Jack Bech is a more consistent player. Now, do you get more splash with Trey Harris? Yes, 100% you do, because he's quicker, little more athletic, right? So, you know, you'll be able to get a little more flash and splash from Trey Harris. But we got to remember this as well. Trey Harris has durability concerns as well. This is something that you go through with the evaluation. I went through. I'm like, okay, he gets nicked up a tad. He does. He gets nicked up a tad. Secondly, Bech's hands are better. One drop, whole season. I don't know just how many drops Trey Harris has, but it's more than one. I'll tell you that right now. It's more than one. So then you look at that. Is he a better route runner? Yeah, I I don't know if Besh is a completely better route runner, but it's close enough. And that's the thing. If you're picking these kind of guys, it's you're like, all right, one's a little bit more consistent with his hands. One is definitely more durable. One is going to block when it comes to the run game and what we're trying to implement and take care of. And we know we got that dog mentality, right? And if they're similarly graded players, you're going to take the guy that, for me, is more consistent, better hands, and has the mentality we looking for, right? So that's why I like this pick. Because for me, Trey Harris and Besh are kind of like, I like Trey Harris, but it's a little like, as far as grades for me, similar, right? Similar. And we'll see who does better. Now, you got Trey Harris, we got them Justin Herbert, so he might do a little something, right? Might do a little something. But we definitely gonna see that. But for me, Besh brings to the room. Now let's talk about expectation. And before we start talking about expectations, right? Let me go ahead and see what y'all talking about real quick, because hey, and this is the difference, man. This is what I always want to do with the rundown, right? With this show, we not only gonna talk about how we feel about it, but we're gonna talk about also the football aspect. What is he gonna bring, right? What does he bring? What did he play? Why are we grading these things, right? Because you can always tell who's really like watching the team and who's really watching what we need. You can tell that. It's easy, right? Especially when we start talking football like this, right? So let's see what we talking about, man. So okay, FBA event. We got Dominique in the building, man. What's good? What up, Neek? What up? Nav, man, what's going on, man? Genty said in the presser he expects 30 carries a game. He's probably not getting that, but if he gets that, so be it. Hey, we drafted him top 10 overall. Life on the line, soldier. You on the front lines, baby. You on the front lines. It is what it is. My guy, man, family. What's up, Chris? What's the deal, man? What's the deal? Pete FBA Vin says Pete and John said they're in win now mode. I didn't like this pick. We could have gotten Burden. Yeah, see, and again, like I already said, like he's the body style is just not what I would just not what I would look for in this room. Now we start talking about again expectation. Let's talk about expectation now. I think he's starting off rip. Let's just say that off. He's starting off rip. There's no. Let's not even make that no secret. We ain't got no tension in it. The man's starting. All right. I don't care what anybody feels about it. Because if you look at the room again, and this is why I love this show. We highlighted it before. Look at the room. Alex Bachman, Ramel Keaton, who is now released. Who else? Kyle Phillips. A number of people. I don't even know if what's his name is. Wilkerson is still there. Bro, like, we said it multiple times, bro. If Jacoby goes down, God forbid, Trey Tucker go down, God forbid, we're screwed. It's over, right? It's over. So right now you have the different skill set. Now you add something in the room where now I can pull my 3 receiver sets out, and I ain't too mad now. I ain't too worried, right? Because I got my route runner, Jacoby, I got my deep threat, and then I got my rebounder, right? So we have this. Now we have varying skill sets, and I'm saying Besh is the rebounder. Now he is 6'1", and some people will say, well, he's not going to go up and get that. But indicative, like the height is not indicative of is he winning these contested catches, right? There are, and shameless plug, make sure you guys tap in tomorrow for my show with my guy Machiavelli. Thursday for Blunts and Breakdowns tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be breaking down Dante Thornton and Jack Besh. And tomorrow y'all are going to see the examples of the contested catches where his hands in these situations are crazy. 3 dudes around him, right? And he still somehow has the hands and the body control to take some of these catches in. It's wild, right? And again, you're talking like he's 6'1", but he's a big dude, bro. He's a big dude. Like, so not the average corner is just going to be able to put his hands on him, move him around. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just not going to happen. I like this pick for the physicality it brings to the wide receiver room, because we was a little light in the ass, right? Like there's, and as much as I like Jacoby, this is my problem. There's multiple times last year where you can tell, and y'all tell me if I'm lying. Again, y'all tell me if y'all disagree if I'm lying. You can tell certain defenses said we're going to get up in their shit today. As far as the receivers, there were certain times we played last year and on offense, you could tell them corners, the defensive coordinator said, yeah, them receivers, we're going to get up in their shit today. We're going to get in their face today. And you can, they was playing that press. They was playing that man. And there was times where it was tough for our receivers to get off the ball last year. No more bully shit this year, bro. Not with Besh. You're not just going to come out there and just bully Besh off the line and all that. Like, so that's what I like that it brings to the room as well, man. And there are times last year I did not like that. I did not like seeing it. But now we have some versatility in the room to say, okay, you want to play physical today. Bet. Let's throw our crew out there, right? Where we can throw out a combination now of Besh, Brock Bowers, right? And that'll be and maybe another complimentary piece in there. Maybe if you want to throw somebody else, but we throw that out there, and I can put Besh on and my guy Bowers on one side. That's my fuck you up crew right there. Bet. You want your corners coming up, trying to press man, trying to box, right? You want to try to box in here? I'm gonna throw my people out there. We're gonna throw my dogs out there. They'll handle that. You know what I mean? I bet you won't press no more, right? And as soon as they beat that, right? As soon as they beat that, all right, cool. You want to play a little off? You want to play back there? Let Jacoby go to work, intermediate, right? As he does. All right. Oh, now they feel like they got to come up, right? They don't want to press no more, but they feel like they got to come up. They can't get that much space. Cool. We got Dante Thornton. We got Trey Tucker. We go over the top. See what I'm saying now? Like, it's like, bro, now the varieties of skill sets in the room is just what I was looking for. And this is, now you could say we could have gotten another guy, but again, we went through the context, bro. Who else are you looking at that gives you the skill set that we require, right? Like that's just me. That's just me. So that's now, and this is the thing, right? I was cool with Besh before the draft. Before the draft, I was cool. Give me 1 second. Baby run down. Gotta go in his thing. Here, what? You refuse to go to sleep, huh? Today, you just said, I'm not sleeping today. No, Daddy, I ain't sleeping today. All right. But yeah, man, and it's just that I just like the versatility it brings. And I was cool with Besh before the draft. It wasn't my first choice, but I know some people are like, he went too early. For me, bro, like the late, where he kind of went is where I'm at with it. I ain't gonna lie. So for me, I gave this a B+. I gave this a complete B+, man. I like the pick. I like that you traded down to get the pick. Now, if we would have picked him at 37, I don't like it as much. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it as much. But the fact you trade down to 58, a whole 20. You like that? I'm telling you, a whole 21 picks. I'm telling you, a whole 21 picks. Not bad. Not mad at all, bro. I'm not mad at all. So let me see what y'all talking about, man. Think we could have got playmakers of all system players. Okay, yeah, it's true. My guy Turf, real quick. What up, Turf? What up? What up, man? Big Jack Besh fan. Watched him since high school. I'm an LSU fan as well. Was mad when he transferred out. Yeah, that's the next thing, bro. And then this is the thing. And I want Panda to kind of chime in a little bit. Why was he playing the hybrid tight end role at LSU? Like, if you watch him at LSU, like the man playing goddamn like soft tight end. And then he goes to TCU and he starts doing more receiver stuff. So that's why I'm like, I think he's a little more versatile than we giving him credit for. I really do. I think he's got a little bit more of that versatility than we thinking about. All right. I got you. Come on. All right. You saying you want to be a part of the talk. I understand. I want to believe coaching will help us out in this regard. Last year, the team had zero violence in them from week 1 on 100%. And you would hope, but at the same time, bro, you got to get some players out there that's willing to do, get down and dirty. And a lot of times we can say like, yeah, the coaching staff should do it, but hey, coaching staff ain't out there playing. You feel what I'm saying? Coaching staff ain't out there getting their shit jammed in their chest. That ain't the coaches. At the end of the day, bro, you got to say, we just got to go out here and we got to play ball. That's just what it is. You feel me? Coaches ain't the one that's out there getting stopped for -1 yard when all we need is 1 foot. You feel what I'm saying? All we need is one toe to get over the line and get a first down. But shit, we can't even get that. It ain't the coach's fault sometimes, dog. You know? But I do agree, though, that there is at least a preaching of it. I would say there's a little bit more preaching of it, and I do believe a little bit more of the preaching of it. Oh, forgot Michael Mayer. Then we send Mayer out there to block as well. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Nav. Look at that. See what I'm saying? If I give you the crew, Mike Mayer, Brock Bowers, Jack Bash, we gonna fuck you up. That's just what it is. I'm sending my white boys out there to fuck you up, and we gonna do our thing, dog. Yeah, we gonna do our thing, bro. I like that. I like that. Yeah, sure. Off of play action with Genty. My guy Mike, man. Brody, what's the deal? What's the deal with you, man? What's going on? I already plugged him in. Tomorrow, we got that Blunts breakdown, so make sure y'all tap in, man. So we already here. We continuing to go. We only done went through 2 goddamn players at this point. We already halfway through the show. I was hoping I wasn't gonna be super long-winded, but y'all know how this go, man. We gotta go in depth. We gotta talk real stuff. Now, this pick right here, I still don't know how to feel. Right? I still don't know how to feel. I like the length, but let's say the overall experience at the position scares me, but I like the traits. And that pick that we're talking about is Darian Porter, right? We're talking about Darian Porter out of Iowa State. Now, obviously, he has the length that you're looking for a Pete Carroll corner. Long, rangy. So we're good with that, right? Already, I like him a little bit better than DeCamerion Richardson. I'll tell you that immediately, right? I like him better than DeCamerion Richardson, even though he has not played the position as long. I like him a little better. See, where it gets me is that there's still some refinement that needs to be done. Now, context. What is context? Now, 3rd round, I believe we traded back for this, no? Am I tripping? Y'all let me know. Did we not trade back in the 3rd round again and then select Darian Porter, or did we select him where we were supposed to select him? Y'all let me know about this one. I forget, but I think we traded back as well. See, if we traded back, then I like to pick a little more, right? I like to pick a little more. Now, can't talk about Will Johnson because Will Johnson got taken in the 2nd, and I wasn't with the knee. I was not with the knee. Another player that you could have talked about that was on the board, just for my recollection, is Trey Amos, right? Trey Amos was another player on the board for me where I said, okay, we can go for that. That might be a direction as far as corner. Right. So I don't think we traded in the 3rd. I think we just got this. But as far as corner, that would have been my direction. Trey Amos was another guy I looked at. But I believe Trey Amos got taken a couple picks before we took, right? So for me, I'm like, all right, that's the guy that I wanted. He's gone, right? Next best guy. What's the next best guy? Probably him. I ain't gonna cap. Probably him. And before we continue out, man, let me look at this, man. Son, I don't know how you want me to hold you, but it's gonna be tough right now. Let me look, man. Corners drafted. Drafted in the NFL draft. Let me look, man. So for all the guys that we got, I know we got Porter. We got Jahdae Barron, Maxwell. Okay, Morrison was somebody maybe that we could have got, right? Morrison was somebody maybe, but all I know, I don't know. But Morrison was gone, I believe. Morrison was gone before we picked as well. So I think there were only a couple corners on the board that could have made sense in the time frame. But, to me, I wasn't a fan of Kobe Bryant. I wasn't a fan, right? I was cool with Kobe. I was cool off that. He went undrafted. You know, Jabbar Muhammad, you can look at that, but he went undrafted. Now let me look at the rounds, right? Let's see what we got. As far as DBs, because I really want to look through this, right? We're not getting Jahdae Barron. We weren't getting Maxwell Harrison. Those are round 1, right? Those are round 1. We're not getting that. So if we go to round 3 and where we're at, we got Darian Porter at 68. Now, Alexander's there. Who got taken after Porter? Let me see. As far as corners, Siobhan Ravel was still on the board. And Noel Williams, but I don't know. What's Noel Williams? He's only 6 feet, 199, so that's probably not what we were looking for. We needed a longer, a bigger type of corner, so that wasn't going to fly. Okay, so look, bro. See, that's why I like to put context on shit. This is why I like to put context on things, because we can come out here and we can be mad about picks, and we can be like, and there's certain people that can be like, man, they picked him too early. They got that motherfucker too early. But we have to understand, right? Look at the list that we got. Look at the list that we got. Okay. Now to 68, before we pick, this is it. This is all we got. Right? Darius Alexander went first in that round for the Giants at 65. And then from there, we got the first corner off the board. And the other corners that were taken, oh, you lucky. You almost dropped that. You almost dropped that, boy. The other corners that were taken there, and you're talking about Siobhan Ravel, Ozzie Thomas, I believe from Florida State, he was taken after as well. He has kind of the length you're talking about at 6'2", 197. So he was kind of the Pete Carroll mold. And then that's about it, right? That's about it. But if we're talking about it, if we can look here, right, Darian Porter, he's 6'3", 195, right? 6'3", 195, bigger prospect than Thomas. And I believe around the same. I believe around the same type of graded prospect. That's just me, right? Same type of graded prospect. And if we're going to compare the two, and you say, yeah, this dude's only been playing corner for 2 years, I'd probably and they're already similarly graded in this to me, then sure, I'd do that, right? I go Porter because they're similarly graded. Ravel, right? Ravel. I like Ravel, but we have to be honest with ourselves, right? With Ravel, he has an ACL injury. He's still recovering from. Not doing that. Coming off, right? Coming off the ACL. I'd rather take the guy that still has the elite traits, only played 2 years of the position, and is moldable, right? I mean, it's easy money. Now, in the third round, you could have said, well, I mean, I don't know where else y'all would have went. I don't know where else y'all would have wanted. We already got a receiver. We already got a running back. So where else is there to go? Maybe you go linebacker, but for real, bro, like, I mean, you look at the linebackers here. There ain't nobody here that moves you. Why you go edge rusher? You know, right? Maybe if you wanted to go, well, we already went guard in this third, so it don't count off there either. If you wanted to go DT, maybe, but they went DT later, right? So, I mean, there are other positions that you could have wanted, other positions, but as far as corners, I don't see nobody else that you could have been like, oh man, they should have got him for that. Like, no, I don't see that at all, man. I don't think that we should be mad about that. Now, my grade though is a B- for this pick, maybe even a C+ for this pick. And the reason that it's so low is because there are still some traits and techniques that must be learned, right? He's raw. We have to understand, bro, like the man was playing receiver a short stint ago. It's not too long where he was playing receiver, which I like that in my corners, having that former receiver background. But at the same time, we got to understand, bro, there's still we coming into the NFL now. We still learning what the deal is, right? We still learning what the deal is. Now, the pick is not based off of, and keep in mind, I'm not giving none of these picks because I like him or I don't, or whatever the case is, based off the talent and what we took and what I'm expecting. As far as Jack Best, he's going to start. We already said that. As far as Ashton Jeanty, he's going to start. We expect generational. We said that. This is the first one for me where I'm like, I'm not expecting the world. I'm not the first year, right? Not the first year, because there's still some learning to do. We probably gonna get burnt by the fire a couple times. I ain't gonna cap. He's gonna get a couple belt asses a couple times in this season, and I want y'all to be prepared for it. Let's not sit here and be surprised, right? He's a 3rd round pick that has only played 2 years of collegiate cornerback football. So yeah, growing pains are what's going to happen with this, and we have to be patient. But for me, I'm already saying he's better than the Cameron Richardson. I'm already saying that. He's already better. And I'm willing to go through the growing pains with Porter, 100%. I'm willing to go through the growing pains with him because the talent is so immense and the ceiling is so high, right? That I just say fuck it and throw him to the fire and let's see if he burned or not. So that's where I'm at with him. And I'm not expecting the world. Will he start? Maybe. You got veterans in front of him. He's going to play. I guarantee you he plays because Eric Stokes has a shaky history of staying healthy. We don't know what's going to happen with Jacorian Bennett. He got a shaky injury history as well. So I definitely think Porter's going to play. How much? I don't know, right? I don't think he's going to start right now. I just think there's probably veterans in front of him that are more technically sound, more savvy right now, right? That'll get a little bit more playing time to start it off. But we're going to see him. We're going to see him in there sparingly. I definitely think so. Let him mold a little bit, right? Let him see. Let's see what traits we see first year. We rock and roll next year, right? That's how I feel about the Darian Porter pick. So that's me. Hold on. Baby, run down. Please don't wake up. Please. So we hoping, hold on. Every new parent knows when you put your baby down, you got to do the little hoping that they don't open their goddamn eyes. All right, there we go. So from there, we gotta continue to think like, what will we get from Darian Porter? But again, I don't think it's gonna be too much. I don't think it's gonna be anything where we're like, oh yeah, this man, he gave us this. No, I just think we'll see it a little bit sparingly, nothing too crazy, right? That's how I feel. Nothing too crazy. But let's go to our next pick. One of my favorite picks, actually. I actually really, really like this pick. And again, if we're listening to people, we're saying like, okay, you picked him, he's playing one position, so he's a backup. It don't make no sense, right? And sometimes if he's staying at this position, it don't make no sense. But I've already seen it. I've heard Pete say it, and this is what I expect him to do. But the next guy that we're talking about is Caleb Rogers, right? We're talking about Caleb Rogers. That's the next guy that we're speaking on. And for me, I like this pick a lot. It's already been said that he's going to play guard, and I think that's perfect. I've watched him, a lot since we picked him. Went back, watched his Senior Bowl against some people. He has what it takes to play guard. He could play guard. He has the feet. He has the quickness. He has that strength. He has the dog. Right now, there's going to be a little bit of transition from working from a tackle to working in that phone booth. But I like this pick a lot, bro. I like this pick a lot, especially if you're telling me you're moving him in the guard, which I think he'll be better as a guard, right? I think he's a better guard than he is a tackle. And I think, definitely can come in. My expectation, he gonna come in and make people sweat off of the guard position, bro. He gonna make some people sweat. I think he gonna come in and compete. Will he start? I don't know. But if he starts ahead of some, and I think it's right guard that he's competing for. I would think it's right guard with Parham and Kappa. But if he starts ahead of those veterans, he's ready, right? We know he's ready. But right now, if you're telling me that he comes in and maybe he don't exactly beat him out all the way, but he's close, right? They feel like he needs a little bit more refinement, or so, okay, he'll be the swing guard for right now, backup guard in case somebody gets hurt. I'm fine with that too, because I feel like he has the ability to do what DJ Glaze did, right? if one of these veterans get hurt, well, hey, good night, Irene, to your spot. You feel what I'm saying? Like you, and everybody knows you. If everybody done play ball long enough, you know, like if you got a guy that's behind you, or you see another, you know, you see some other position battles going on, and you see that these players are comparable, and maybe even the player behind them is maybe a tad better, younger, right? But maybe the circumstances are just that that younger player, whatever the case, is not getting the reps right now. But you know, right? Y'all know on the team, and everybody know when this motherfucker gets a play, that's the guy, right? That's how I feel this would shake out, right? With the offensive line and saying, like, yeah, you're starting for now. You're a veteran. You know what we want. You know what we need. But if you miss a game, if you blow some assignments, you're looking like the weak link. It ain't gonna be hard, right? To get somebody else up in there. And this the competition factor, right? This is where the competition comes into play. Because now, Parham, you on the clock. You on the clock, right? People feel better about Alex Meredith, a UDFA who has emerged and worked out of nowhere, than a guy that we've selected in the third round a couple years ago. You on the clock. He on the clock. I need some improvement upon Parham. I do. And I know some people are going to, some people on the train. That's fine. I don't see it. I don't see the pop, the power that I need. The pass protection is good from Parham. But as far as that dog, that nasty, we need to roll grade motherfuckers, I don't see it. Right? With Rodgers, I see it. I see it. Now, he's 312 right now. Needs to get a little more rocks in his pocket. Right? I do say that, but can definitely do that. Easy money. Right? He can definitely do that. No problem. So, I think this is a guy that he's going to compete for the right guard spot immediately. He'll compete. And then not only that, but he will also, if he beats him out, he has a chance. He has a chance to play early. I really do think so, man. This is one of my favorite picks of the day for me because I like him so much. It's hard for me to get an A. So we're going to go, I don't know if I gave any A's, but we're going to go B plus with this. Because there's, again, I don't know if he's starting early, right? I don't know if he's starting early. I think he is, but and if he's playing guard, like Pete said, I'm 100%, I'm good. But right now he's high end competition. He's right. He's high end competition. So that's where I would be at right now. So that is, that completes, some of my cool picks. But y'all give me 1 second, man. This man done dropped his binky. And I gotta go watch that. So y'all give me a second, or we gonna continue to hear Baby Rundown give his takes and opinions on what he feel is going on right here. So I will be right back. Y'all give me 1 minute. I know it's completely unprofessional. But y'all just give me 1 minute, man. And we back. All right, we good. We back. You see I got my man's back there. He chilling. You feel what I'm saying? I can see him right here from the screen. We good now, right? Sometimes you gotta get him set up. But I think the baby said he likes the Genty pick. My Baby Rundown saying Genty better get 1,500 yards or he's gonna be upset. I know. I already know. He better get 1,500 yards or he's gonna be upset. So our next pick And I think this is why this is why baby back there he going crazy, because this wasn't our favorite pick of the day. It was not. I know a lot of people like this pick. I know this is a lot of people's favorite pick, but we got to go against the grain on this, right? And that is this, man. Charles Grant, bro. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm gonna be real. I'm not 100% fan. I know some people like this pick. This is some people's favorite pick. I can't, for me, right? I know I like it for the simple standpoint of saying you got somebody that has the traits, right? He you could see it on him. You get a left tackle to be the replacement of Colton Miller, basically, right? Because that's what a lot of y'all said. A lot of y'all said, man. But this is the thing. This is the thing. And y'all can take this how y'all feel. Y'all can take this how y'all feel. But for me, when I watched Charles Grant and we selected Charles Grant after I watched him, my immediate thought was, thank God we saw Colton at OTAs. Immediate thought. I'm not even gonna front with y'all. As soon as I watched Charles Grant, I said, thank God, bro, that Colton's back. We need to re-sign this man immediately. Now, y'all can take that for however y'all feel about this pick. But for like, bro, look, and I understand some people like, they like it because they see certain things, bro. But right now, I'm gonna be honest, bro. If he was to play right now and we needed Charles Grant to play left tackle right now, oh, hey, dog, we might have to do some prayer ritual for Geno Smith and shit before games, dog. Like, because this it's almost gonna look demonic the way that defenses will do this, man. If Charles Grant had to play immediately, we'd be screwed. I'll tell you that right now. It would not be a fun time. It'd be like, y'all remember what Colton was like when we first drafted Colton? Y'all remember that? Worse, I think. Worse. It's not there, bro. It's not there yet. Now, that's not saying he can't get there. Let's get more specific on what we're talking about. He has the footwork. He has that, right? He's quick. Real athletic for his size too, bro. Like, he's a big motherfucker, but he's athletic as hell for his size, right? So he moves well, bro. Can pull, can get out there. If you're talking about getting on the screen game, if you need to get him out there on the outside run game, he gets out there, dog, right? He does. But right now, the technique is not there. Gets too high in the stance at times, especially when we're talking about run blocking. He gets way too high. Doesn't use the leverage. Hands get too far outside way too often, right? When we're talking about, I'm supposed to stay in the framework of the chest. I'm supposed to stay in that framework of the chest and get underneath them shoulder pads. If we're talking about pushing somebody out their gap, sometimes, bro, his arms, and he's got the length. That's not a problem, bro. The length for him is amazing, but his arms get too far to the shoulders. He's blocking their shoulder pads, and he's got his hands on people's shoulder pads. Y'all know, bro, like that's not going to get it done in the league. It's just not going to get it done, dog. And we're talking about, I didn't even bring this up with Genty, but we're talking about William Mary, right? We're talking about William Mary. And again, I didn't say that for Genty to be like, oh my God, he played at Boise State, because there's no need. Because even Boise State is better than what, it's exponentially better than what Charles Grant is coming from, as far as the conference, as far as the competition, right? So for me, I don't know, man. Like, there's work to be done, dog. There's still more nasty I want to see from him, as far as, like, remember we just talked about, we just talked about Caleb, right? We just talked about Caleb when saying he's got that dog. He's gonna finish. He's gonna go in there. He's gonna put his chest into people, dog. Rodgers is gonna finish people, and he talks shit. I like that about him. But for me, it's I look, and he still needs more rocks in his pocket. He needs to get bigger. To me, he needs to get stronger. Now I feel like Mumford's spot is in trouble. I'll say that simultaneously, but I'm not all the way there with Charles, bro. This is my first C-. Be real with you. My first C-. I'm not a super fan of this pick. I think It needs years. It needs years. Now I know a lot of, if you're going into the mindset of you're saying like, oh, I knew he needed refinement and he needed years and that's how it needed to go, then okay, I can see why you like the pick, right? I can see it. But and I trust me, I hate being the guy that's coming out here being negative. But if you're the guy that's coming out here saying like, yeah, he could start and we can get rid of Colton, you need to switch that thought immediately. Switch that shit up now because he, again, if he needed to start, we might need to burn some sage around Gino and whatever we got to do, dog, to protect this man from the evil that will be coming towards him if Charles Grant starts. So, and that's not, I'm just saying this year, it's not there this year. Next year, by all means, let's see what work is put in and let's see where we can get. But, and even if he starts this year and he ends up being great, so be it. Right? So be it. And that's going to surprise me tremendously. And that would be great. But nah, I don't see it right now, dog. That's C- for me. I'm going to be real. A lot of people like this pick. And this is one of my like least favorite picks. to be honest, dog. This is one of my least favorite picks. I like him, but it's like, it's okay. It's all right. Nobody's tripping. So Piano Man, I can see I can see he's a Chargers fan. He should. I don't know how to feel about the Chargers right now. We'll see. As of right now, man, I ain't got enough energy to shit talk y'all because I don't even know what the fuck y'all did. We got to worry about our goddamn selves right now. I'm not worried about the Chargers, bro. I'm worried about the Raiders as of right now, man. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't know where we're at right now. Hey, man. Hey, first of all, shout out to you and your channel, bro. Shout out to you and your channel. You be doing your thing, bro. I appreciate that, though. We try around here. We try. The man asleep now. I guarantee you, if I put him down, he going to be wiggling in that background in about 5 minutes. I guarantee it. So I'm trying to do the show one-handed and scroll through the comments one-handed with my opposite hand. But we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how it goes. So FBA Vin, he says, I'm thinking most of our picks other than the last two will help us out at some point. Okay. Yeah. I agree. I do agree. Young DB says year 2 Grant and Rodgers will show a lot. Yeah. I even think Rodgers might show us something this year, but yeah, I agree. Like we're gonna probably Charles Grant for sure. Year 2, that with a full off season. Full knowing the coaching staff and all that extra and the expectations, I expect him to be better because again, like when his technique is there, it's there, right? Like when the footwork matches up with the punch and the strike and all that shit matches up, you can see what people are seeing. It's easy to see, but then it gets frustrating when you're like, God damn, why is it? It's not consistent, right? It's not consistent. So that's where you get frustrated at the pick. So for me, it was a C-. A lot of work that needs to be done. I don't think he's as close as everybody may seem and a lot of people may seem. I don't think he's that close to saying he's ready to play and start a 17 full NFL season. So C- for me, right? C- for me because I don't see him playing immediately, especially if Colton's here. No, he's not playing immediately at all. Not at all. Give me 1 second. Let's put our mans down. Let's hope we don't start wiggling. Okay. God damn it. Yeah. All right, cool. Every new parent knows, man, when you put your kid down, you got to walk away from him like you just planted a bomb and shit. Or you got to walk away like a bomb is planted somewhere, dog, because you do not want them to start wiggling as soon as you put them down, dog. As soon as you put them down and they get to moving, you already know, dog. You stationary for the next hour or two. It's over. It's fucking over. But looks like we good. So let's continue, man. We still got some guys to get through. I'm debating what are we gonna do here? I'm debating what we're gonna do. This is why I love having my own channel and just love having my own time frame. I want to go through these, but as y'all see, we're going through them extensively, right? Like, so I'm not trying to give y'all no cookie cutter ass hour show where I'm only spending like 5 minutes on these dudes. Like, nah, like we trying to go through. We trying to see what the expectations are. So we gonna see some after this pick right here, because we still got 1, 2, 3, 4. We still got 5 picks to go through after this one. So we might break this up into 2 shows, right? We might break this up into 2 shows where after this next pick, we really break it down into the next ones. But I'm debating. I'm seeing how it goes. I want to see how I feel. Now that he's down, though, I think we might go all the way through. But let's just see. Let's see what everybody talking about. That's crazy. NFL ranked as 4th best draft. I hate watching. I hate seeing that. It's gonna give us all this goddamn false hope. I don't try not to pay attention to that as far as like the draft shit. Johnny in the building, man. What up, Johnny? What's the deal, bro? Glad you in the building, man. Hey, Jay, no. I don't know, man. I don't know. I had a friend. He grew up a Chargers fan, and he developed a serious fucking tick and stutter because the Chargers kept charging. So it's, you know what I mean? It's hard, bro. It's the Chargers be fucking with your health, man. You know what I mean? He had to go to the doctor. He had to go to therapy and shit. It was bad, bro. I don't know about that, dog. My man, it was real. It was sad. He was getting ridiculed, teased. You know what I mean? It was a soft form. It was a soft form of it, bro. It was bad, bro. It was bad. It almost starts deteriorating your health being a Charger fan. You know what I mean? Started forgetting shit, right? It's like he had amnesia at times. Like, goddamn, man. You know what I mean? Till he dropped the jersey, right? Till he dropped that ugly ass powder blue is when the skies cleared. And he was like, oh shit, you know, man. Maybe he's right. Maybe it is fucking with my mental health. You know, maybe that is it. So let's Chargers are good guys. Nah, never. People don't like good guys anyway, man. They like villains anyway. That's why they like this shit right here. That's why everybody on the low fuck with the colors in the team. They like villains. They like the bad shit, man. You know, people say they like good shit. They say they do, but they really don't. They really don't. So let's be real, man. Let's go to our next pick. This is a pick, I ain't gonna lie. At first, like, I've been getting talked into it, but I'm not fully there, bro. I'm not fully there. I know even some of my guys like this pick as far as TRS, but I'm not fully there with this guy. And that's Dante Thornton, right? That's Dante Thornton. Like, I like Dante Thornton. Don't get me wrong. But then I seen some people like, oh yeah, man, like he's gonna get just as much playing time, if not more, than Besh. No. Let's pump our brakes here. I gave this one right here a solid B-. B- almost a C plus, but it was a B- to me, bro. There's a lot of B's in this because I think there's a lot of guys where I'm like, this good value where you got them. But this is why I gave it a B-. And this is my concern. Like with him, we all know like he's 6'4", 4'3", prototypical Al Davis Raiders receiver, right? Big, tall, fast, is a problem on the one-on-one, 100%, bro. What my concern is, and this is where we start talking about expectation. We got to temper the brakes and say, like, dog, he ran 3 to 4 routes at Tennessee. That's it. 3 to 4 routes at Tennessee. That's one, right? We're talking about a slant, a curl, a post, a go. That's it. That's all they're running at Tennessee, bro. This is not me talking shit. This is fact. This ain't fiction. So this is all they're doing. I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, he about to be Justin Jefferson. He about to be the number 1 receiver, and you can only run 4 routes, right? That's not how that works. So immediately that bumps him down, right? You're not playing above Jacoby. It's not happening. We all know that. Trey Tucker's been in the league for a minute. He has a little bit of savvy to him. You're not playing above Trey like that. You have the speed and you have the length, right? So in certain situations, if we need that speed to match up with that length, and I see my man back there wiggling. I swear to God, you better not wake up back there, son. But you have the speed mixed with the length. You use him in that situation. But to just say, I'm going to stick him out there at X, right? Oh, my God, son. Why? To say I'm going to just stick him out there at X is unrealistic, in my opinion. It's unrealistic, in my opinion, bro. It's unrealistic. So, for me, and see, that's okay. Oregon, yeah, right. He has some better routes at Oregon for sure, but there's a reason he had to leave Oregon. There's a reason he had to leave, right? And then went to Tennessee. Now I'm not saying that that's all he can do as far as those routes, but we have to be honest, like that's all he was asked to do. And then this is the next thing. This is the next thing that I think Gotham City is highlighting. And thank you. I agree. But this is the most thing that Gotham City is highlighting that I found out too after we drafted him. He has a nasty ass drop rate. Like a nasty ass drop rate. Hold on. And I'm going to give you the exact rate because I'm not just going to say this. Now, for context, I just told you that Besh dropped one pass last year, right? Besh dropped one pass. As far as Dante Thornton, a Reddit post. Let me see. He has concerns. I'm looking. I think it's like a 10% drop rate or something like that. It's something like that. What is the drop rate? I know it's nasty. It's nasty work, right? So if we're looking, yeah, bro. He had it's damn near 10% drop rates on his targets. Right? That's where it's at. And so, like, for me, that's nasty work, bro. That's ugly work. You more say. There you go. Yeah. Oh my God. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Baby Rundown gonna make me cut this goddamn show early is what he gonna make me do. Cause at this point, man, this man is not letting me get this in. Man, I need your help for real. This man not letting me do my show. Okay, yeah. He's sleepy for real. Please don't drop it. It's over then. All right. With his mama now. So now we got a little bit of time. He with his mama now. So now, I mean, again, we talking about Thornton, right? We getting it in. The drop rates are nasty for me. I see all these, deep bombs and deep catches, and I do see that. But he's got to work on his hands. And at that size, we love that size. But again, we just got to continue to refine the route tree. And he'll tell you that as well, right? He will tell you that as well, where he was, I think he said it when he got drafted. Like, hey, he said it when he got drafted. I need to refine my route tree, right? I need to refine my route tree. So that's my number one thing with him. And, it doesn't do him any favors that he went to Tennessee because Tennessee does that. It seems like with their quarterbacks, with their receivers, they got this gimmicky ass offense. So, it's hard. It's hard to really, really evaluate, but there are things he's got to work on. As of right now, I see him. He's the seasoning. He's partially, right? He's partially where if we're comparing, right, our receivers, we got the main dish. If we got tacos, right? Besh is the taco. That's where we're at. We're talking about he's the main dish. That's the guy that's going to play majority of the time. Hey, you feel me? Thornton is the onions and cilantro. Just a little sprinkle of it. That's all I need. Just a little sprinkle. I don't need the whole thing. You don't need your whole goddamn plate oversaturated with the cilantro and onion. I just need a little, right? A little bit of salsa, a little bit to spread it in there, give it a little heat. You feel me at times? And there we go. But that's what Thornton is. He's the condiments. He is not the main dish of this draft. What we're talking about, right? As far as receivers and who's gonna play, that's Besh, right? That's Besh, in my opinion. Now it's Thornton. Sprinkle them in there. Let's see what we get. But I'm not expecting this man. Some people heard John Spytek say something about Calvin Johnson and say something about, I think, another receiver, Randy Moss. And then everybody started losing their shit and was like, oh, man, we got the next this, and that. No, not yet, in my opinion. Now, if he exceeds that, that's different. Of course, like every player that I've sat here and said, I don't know, I don't see it first, I hope that they exceed that, because if they do, that means that we're a better team for it. But if not, well, fucking here we are, right? Here we are. So for me, I get that a B minus. Like I said, I see Martavis Bryant when I look at him in his game. That's who I can kind of compare him to. Now you hope you get Steelers Martavis Bryant, right, where he continues to ascend. But that's what the game I was seeing. So now we move on to some of my favorite picks, right? Some of my favorite. Now, Jack Best is one of my favorite, but like one of my guys on here is my favorite. But every time we go trenches, I'm always going to love that. And we talking first in Tonka Hemingway, right? That is the first guy that we'll talk about in Tonka Hemingway. For me, it was a little bit of a head scratcher when I first saw him, right? Or we first drafted him, where I was like, well, not a head scratcher. It was just like, I didn't really know didn't know that much, right? But then I had to remember, he was at the Senior Bowl. He was just wearing a different number, right? He wear a different number at the Senior Bowl. And I was like, okay, it was whatever, but didn't pay too much attention. So I went back, watched, right? There were a couple things where I was like, all right, I don't think I paid too much close attention to that, right? So then go back and watch his tape. Quick, right? His first step is kind of quick, bro. He's got a nasty spin move to him. Hand usage is very, I wouldn't say advanced, but it's better than what you would think it is for a player coming in as a third round pick, right? Fourth round, whatever it is. Was it fifth? I think he's a fifth round. I'm losing tracks of the rounds at this point, bro. Like, has better hands than you think he does, right? Coming in, power is good. I would say he's more pass rush right now than he is run stuffing, but he can run stuff. For me, I see a lot of Adam Butler in the game, bro. I see a lot of, like, with Tonka, I see a lot of Adam Butler, a lot, where I think their games can be similar. And I actually think Butler is a tremendous mentor for Tonka, because I honestly, like, watching them, I honestly feel like they play the same, right? I honestly feel like they play the same. Now, let me see something to further back up my claim, right? Let me look and make sure that the measurements are correct. He's 6'5". But what is he? 300? Okay, then what's Tonka? What's Tonka? Okay, this to back up my claim to see if I'm right. Damn near. Okay. So to kind of back up the claim, right? Adam Butler, they said he's around 6'4", 300 or 295, right? 295, 300 pounds. Tonka, and this is first year, so we don't know how much weight he'll gain or whatever the case, but Tonka is 6'3", 289, 290, right? So the measurables are similar when you talk about that. And I'm telling y'all, go watch Adam Butler first. Last year, watch him first. Go back and watch some of Adam Butler last year, then throw on Tonka. I'm telling you, dog, they look a lot alike. And it's funny because I've said this already. Adam Butler, as much as we like him, he's 30. The contract isn't large, right? So, of course, you want rotation, but you also got to be planning for the future on that aspect as well. And I think that's what this move was. I gave this one a solid, firm B. Because he has some traits, bro, that are very hard to get from a guy his nature, right? I think he has some good traits that you can really work on. And he has some real advanced technique sometimes for a guy his age, where he's coming out of. He got some advanced stuff to him that I definitely think can be refined. And he's going to be part of expectation now. But before we get into expectation, let's give a shout out to our guy Nav, man, for the $10 holler, man. Appreciate you, big dog. He says, best thing about this draft is not getting the flashy toy. Genty is the best running back in the draft since Saquon, in my opinion, but he's not flashy. Humble beast, in my opinion. Much love for the shout out. Hey, man, you already know what time it is, bro. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. As always. But I think, yeah, we brought a lot of competition for them trenches. This is just another case of it, right? Where, I think Tonka's gonna play. I think Tonka's gonna play. I honestly think he's gonna play. At first, I was like, I'm iffy, but now looking at it, bro, and just seeing what he brings to the room, yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. I think, he adds some more pass rush to you that, he adds more pass rush to you that I think we kind of lacked last year. Like, we had guys that were good against the run and this is interior, right? When Wilkins got hurt, we only had Adam Butler to kind of pass rush from the interior, right? Like, that was it. After that, like, Lualu's good, but he's more of a run stuffing guy. Matthew Butler, no. Zach Carter, he's okay, but no. Like, we didn't have no pass rush. This provides that, where it's not just Butler and Christian. Now you got Butler, Christian, Tonka, and then you can continue to add, right? So, for me, and you know what? I'll go with you, man. Nah, for me, I go with you. I fucked it. I looked at it, bro. I say I'll bump it up a B+. B+ for me. A- actually. A-, all the way up to an A-. And I gave y'all 3 grades, but I'm all the way up to A-. And keep in mind, bro, like, when I do these shows, yeah, I got a little shit written down beforehand, but I give y'all natural, authentic takes. So sometimes, you know what I mean? Hey, our opinions be fluid. Sometimes the opinions be fluid, but A- for me, right? A- for me. That's where I'm at. Gotham says Spytek picked a lot of potential players. He gambled a lot. Porter, Grant, Malott, Miller, 4. And we'll talk about the other ones, but of the last 2 guys, I don't care about, to be honest. And I mean, we'll talk about it, but it doesn't matter to me. So as we continue, man, our next pick. So I gave that one an A-. So if you're keeping track, man, I gave a C. That was Charles Grant. Charles Grant's my only C of it. Everybody else been a B. You know what I mean? B+ or whatever the case. So Charles Grant has been the lowest grade that we've gotten. So one of my other favorite picks, because I've watched this guy for a minute and I love what he brings. Not only because he's versatile, but I like what he brings for his actual position. And that's JJ Pegues, man. JJ Pegues. I like, look, everybody's going to sit here and highlight the fact that he can play running back and tight end and blah, blah, blah. And, the man can do all these extra things, do a handstand while making a milkshake, all this extra shit, right? For me, though, I actually like what he brings for his actual position, right? I like what he brings. He has the ability to rush as a nose tackle, right? Which not a lot of noses you see in the league are going to do that much blitz or rushing, pass rushing, right? You're not going to get that much pass rushing from nose tackles because that's not their primary job. We need your boy to eat up space, right? We need him to eat up space. We need him to go ahead and, take double teams on. Stop the running game pretty much primarily. Get back there and just push the pocket, really. But with Pegues, he has that rare, nimble footwork, rare, nimble hand usage of that size and of that position where he can actually provide you some pass rush if you wanted to play him as nose, right? If you wanted to put him in his nose. Now, if you want to put him at 3 technique, then so be it, right? If you don't want to put him in nose because you got Fotu, I believe you signed Fotu, and there's some UDFAs that we signed that fit a little bit more of the nose profile. And we'll talk about UDFAs. That'll be our next show. But there's a little more guys that fit the nose profile. So you could say you use him more on the other type of positions. But he's a guy just like, and I didn't even talk about this with Tonka, but he's a guy, they can both play all 5 positions and spots, right? All 5 positions and spots on that D-line, JJ Pegues and Tonka can do, right? Just like Wilkins, how we move them around, big boys all around the line, right? That's what we're going to do. So with Pegues, I think he's got that rare, nimble footwork where, you look at him, bro, like I said, he's going to give you some pass rush. He's got good hands. There's things he's got to improve upon, as far as anchoring down. with the run. He's not the biggest guy as far as if you want him to play nose. He's not the biggest guy. But then we got other guys that can help with that, right? Combat that. So he needs to get better in the run. He needs to get better anchoring, right? He needs to get better anchoring and doing those type of things. But I believe that's something he'll definitely be able to do, right? And as far as D-line, you can be part of a rotation. You don't have to be, a number one starter. With a D-line, bro, I need to be about, on the interior, I need me about like at least a good, solid rotation of dudes. I got Christian. I got Adam Butler. Cool. Now you need that nose tackle that's going to go in there. And I'd like me two more guys on the interior that can rush. But then again, you don't have to sit there and say, oh, man, we only got to play this interior guy, or, oh, man, we got to get an edge guy, if the guys that you draft and sign are versatile to play all 5 spots, right? Now, then you don't have to pigeonhole yourself and say, well, shit, we got to get an edge, because you got edges. You got 2 dudes, right, that's going to come off the edge, and whoever else you got in there that's going to come off the edge and help you there. But then we got guys in all type of skill sets that can say, well, Adam Butler can play the right end. He can play the left end. Same with Christian Wilkins. He can go inside, play the end spots. And I feel like Tonka and JJ Pegues can do the same thing. They can go inside, but they can play the end spots as well. So a lot of versatility. That's what they're trying to create in the D-line room. Tonka, I expect Tonka to play more earlier than Pegues. But, still, I definitely think that either way we will either way we will see something though from Pegues. As far as the defensive side goes, but as far as the offense, he's gonna have a package. He's gonna have a package, and that's gonna make me happy, dog. Now, we talked about Genty and we talked about clearing some room. Well, shit, if you can tell me right now that I can get Genty in the backfield with his heels deep like he does, and I get Pegues in the fullback or the wild card, hey, so be it, dog. Let's rock. I like that right there, dog. I like that. Again, if I'm saying this, excuse my language, but this is the solo show today, man. I ain't been on there. I try to be professional, but it is what it is, bro. If I want to send a crew out there and say, today I feel like fucking y'all up today. I don't feel like getting cute. We play the Chargers. I hope my guy's still in here. We play the Chargers today, and it ain't about getting cute. Today, we're going to fuck you up. Like, that's what it's going to be. And if that's what we say we're going to do, hey, man, give me something where I got Jack Besh out there, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer. Give me J.J. Pegues at the fullback. Give me Ashton Genty right there. If I got all them right there, let's go to work. Line that shit up. Line that shit up. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of versatility that, not even versatility, but that's the type of mindset that's being instilled, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. But just if I could get Pegues in somewhat of an offensive set where I throw all my big body dudes out there, my physical dudes out there, and say, line that shit up, we about to go at you. I like that. I like that personally. And I think I can see that immediately off the rip. Big fridge, right? Big fridge. Y'all give me 1 second. So there is that, right? So we got JJ Pegues. We got JJ Pegues. That is our other one. Now, this is the one that's going to cause division. This is the one that's going to cause division. But this is the one that it's downstairs. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second, bro. All right, we back. Last baby emergency for the day. Last one for the day. Not only watching the baby in here, we watching my grandma in here. There's a whole type of other shit in here. But if we continuing, these are the picks that cause division, right? These are the ones that cause division within the fan base. And these are the ones that y'all can say, like, we wasted picks on, if you want to say that. But we'll talk about it. So, first guy that we'll get into, my guy Turf was excited. Happy for Turf. Happy for, his side of the tracks. But Tommy Mellott. Right? Tommy Mellott. And I don't know if Jay is in here, but we got a special guest on Saturday. It's not Tommy, but special guest on Saturday that just had Tommy in for an interview. So gonna be fun. But yeah, this is one. Now, I've seen some people angry. About this pick, and they're like, hey, you picked him. This was stupid. I don't know what we're doing. We picked a quarterback, but then they said he's going to play receiver, right? They said he's going to play receiver. And then that sent even more headways through what people thought, when it's like, well, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're is it a project that we're trying to do, or like, what's the deal? You know what I mean? And this is where people are starting to say, hey, yeah, we might have wasted a pick, right? We might have wasted a pick. And that's what some people will say. And let me go ahead. Hold on. I'm going to the round before I say what I'm going to say. Let me go to the round he was selected in before I sit there and tell y'all what's on my mind. Okay. All right. Could have took that, but he got taken before. Okay, let's talk. Now, we're taking him as a receiver, correct? So if we're taking him as a receiver, I'm not going to sit here and be mad like, oh my God, we took a quarterback, because I'm looking at him as a receiver, Julian Edelman type, right? So as far as the receivers that are left after Tommy Mellott is picked, right? After the receiver, and this is what I'm saying, like, this is just a cash dispersion. I'm not going to say this is my favorite pick ever, but I feel like we do, again, context is important. Of the receivers that were chosen after Mellott, it was, Tez Johnson, which I'm going to be real, I'm cool off Tez Johnson. Shit, one strong gust of wind and it's over. So I'm good off Tez Johnson. I'm straight. Ricky White, right? Ricky White, 6'1", 184. So you can say that. That's another one. Caden Prather out of Maryland. It is what it is. Mumpfield, some guy named Mumpfield out of Pittsburgh, but no, I didn't really know him within the process, right? Dominique Lovett out of Georgia, knew him, but, is what it is. And then you got out of Montana, Junior Bergen out of Montana. So he's there. And then that's pretty much it. That's all the receivers. Now I can tell the first one y'all are going to tell me y'all wanted, and that's fucking Ricky White, right? I know I can already see it without looking at the comments. Ricky White. We should have got Ricky White. I don't know, man. For me, bro, I'm not too mad about us picking this guy in the 6th round, bro. I know some people are like, we wasted a pick, but let's keep it a bean, bro. What are we expecting from a 6th round pick? Let's be real here, right? Let's be real. What are we expecting? We're not. This is why we started the conversation of saying expectations, right? 1 through 3, damn near sometimes 4, but 1 through 3, they best play. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They have to play, and they have to contribute in some way, shape, or form in order for your draft to be considered successful. So, for example, Genty must be good, and he must contribute. Besh must be good. He must contribute. Look in the 3rd round. That's why you got 2. Oh, no. 3rd round, we're talking about Darian Porter. He's probably going to play, right? He's probably going to play. So he's going to get minutes. That's what we're talking about. Now, from the 4th round and on, we should understand that there's development that must take place. From the 4th round and on, development has to take place, right? So guess what? We talk about, and guess who's in the 4th round? Now, you can get some type of surprise from a 4th round and on. Of course, you can get surprised. Like Max was a 6th rounder and all that. But very few, except John Gruden's bus driver and a few select, knew what Max was. So if you're not one of those few, and I ain't gonna believe none of y'all right now because I didn't know none of y'all before that, I'm gonna assume your ass is lying because there's no way you knew, right? So out of all of, bro, we don't know what from fourth and beyond will be. Honestly, you're hoping for good depth out of fourth and beyond, and that's it. They're supposed to be your depth as you continue. You maybe get maybe one player that emerges or whatever, but from a 6th-round pick, dog, I don't think there should be this type of outrage, right? I don't think there'd be this type of outrage. There's not many a player on this ESPN list anyway that I'm looking at and I'm like, oh yeah, immediately I'm thinking, he's gonna do great. If I thought that, the motherfucker wouldn't have won in the 6th round, right? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. If I thought this dude was, now sometimes they make some egregious ass mistakes, but it's like there are things that must be worked on in order for us to say like, oh yeah, this dude's gonna make a crazy contribution year one, unless it's some of the high impact positions, right? Like running back. You can get a running back in the 6th round and he ends up being nice, right? You get nice little, maybe offensive lineman at times. It can work, right? Depends on what you find. Linebacker, another, where you can get that and you can get some high-end production, right, from a later round picked guy. But, receiver sometimes, right? Now, Puka Nacua, people can bring him up. But nobody thought Puka Nacua was Puka Nacua or when he was coming out. There's a reason he went in that round, right? So I don't think we should be tripping about them a lot. Again, what did I just say, bro? Like, it's all about development, right? And of the receivers that were taken after Tommy, be real, bro. I get it. They're listed as receivers, but this dude just won his Heisman for his division, right? Like, this dude just won his Heisman for his division, and all the other receivers that we're talking about were role players on their fucking squads. You know what I'm saying? If, like, for me, bro, if I'm going to go in the 6th round, why? It's going to make me feel better to just say, like, I drafted a role player and shit. Like, they all need development. You know what I mean? Like, even if let's say for the simple fact we took Ricky White, because that's what everybody wanted. If we took Ricky White instead of Tommy Millott, you don't think Ricky White still has to improve? Right? You don't think Ricky White still has to improve? But all I know is Millott was the best guy on his team and in his whole little shit. You know what I mean? His whole conference, whatever it was, bro, the whole FCS, the man was the guy, right? That's the guy. So for me, I don't know. There's a couple. Look, but see, this is the thing. You come out here like you said something. How many Howie Longs and Lester Hayes do you get? Let's just keep it a bean, bro. Keep it a bean. How many Howie Longs and Lester Hayes are we getting? Again, if somebody was drafting Howie Longs and Lester Hayes every year in the 6th round, them motherfuckers be the greatest GMs that ever lived. But that's just not realistic. We have to now. We're not going to sit here and assume that this 6th round is going to be dog shit. But we are going to sit here and say is like, come on now, like you're not getting that every year. Show me the next Max Crosby. Show me since Max has came out, where has been the next example of that? Where is it? I just want to see it. Right? Show it to me because it's not. It's not there. It's not there, bro. This is not. We can't just hope we have to have the hidden development trait like we do up in Madden and shit and hope that the motherfucker's the X factor. Like the shit don't work. So for me, like again, development is key. Development is key. There's only a couple times, bro, you get some guys that have that, second round. Okay, second round. How about Howie 6th round? But yeah, man, for me, it's like I think, yeah, bro. I think I definitely see some development there. He has the athletic traits. Now, where I'm scared is like, where can it translate fully, right? I know he's athletic enough. I know he can do certain things, but can he transition fully to being that type of receiver we need? It's probably not going to happen year one. That's a little rich to ask to have him turn into Julian Edelman immediately. Like that's too rich, right? Way too rich for me. But what we will say is that maybe punt return, maybe special teams for sure. Play there first as he learns and continues to grow, and we'll see what happens. But I bank on his athletic traits. I ain't gonna lie, man. I bank on his athletic traits. It's a 6th round, dog. Like, it is what it is, bro. I'm not expecting to get nobody in this damn 6th round. It is what this is all development. Can he turn into a Taysom Hill? Let's hope. So we get into the actual quarterback of it, and this is our last 2 picks of the day. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, bro. I appreciate y'all. Went a little longer than I expected to go, but it is what it is, man. Our last 2 picks, the number 1, the first one out of the last 2, Cam Miller. Right now, there are gonna be some people that are gonna sit here and say, well, we made this pick and we got Cam Miller. And I think somebody asked me this earlier. How do I feel about getting Cam Miller ahead of some of the guys? Ahead of some of the other quarterbacks? This is where you can get me, right? This is where you can get me. I wanted Will Howard in this round, but Will Howard got taken by the Steelers, and I believe they traded up to get him. If I'm not mistaken, they might have traded up, but if they didn't, then either way, bro, he got taken, right? So that was the target for me. You could have said Kyle McCord, but Kyle McCord, we took JJ Pegues, and then Syracuse, and then Philly took Kyle McCord. So you could say, all right, would you rather have Kyle McCord or JJ Pegues? But if we're going to be honest let's be honest with ourselves, and we had another pick in this round, I'd rather take JJ Pegues because he has a better chance to play more, right? Over the likes of Kyle McCord, right? He's going to play more. So Will Howard, I would have liked Will Howard. I would have took that if he would have fell to us a couple spots after, but he got taken, right? What y'all want? Graham Mertz? That's what y'all want? Because that's who got taken right there, Graham Mertz. But he got taken before, right? Let's see the quarterbacks that got taken after, who was still on the board, right? So in the 7th round, where we at? Only one, Curtis Rourke, right? Curtis Rourke and Quinn Ewers. Now, you can make the argument about Curtis Rourke, but we got Curtis Rourke at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, your parents be like, hey, I want McDonald's. I want this. Now, hell no. We got that at home. We got all that at home. We got Curtis Rourke at the crib, and his name is Aiden O'Connell. We don't need to do that. What is the point of us drafting Curtis Rourke and we have a guy that has the same damn skill set? It makes no sense, right? And we're obviously trying to change. That's working backwards. We're trying to get more athletic in the room. And we're trying to draft Curtis Rourke coupled with Aiden O'Connell. We'd have the slowest, most unathletic quarterback room in the league. So, we're not. We need some variety, right? Like Geno's, we're starting to change this around and saying now we want a little bit more mobile quarterbacks. Now, am I saying Cam Miller is that? Maybe. But all of y'all said, who cares about getting the quarterback in the 6th round? He ain't going to be nothing anyway. Blah, 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 when we was having certain conversations. So, for me, I'm not mad at Cam Miller either. I mean, it is like, he's not the guy anyway. Once you pass the Jalen Milroe territory, for real, once you passed that, it was over. You're not like all the quarterbacks now, except Shedeur, because that was a different case. But all the quarterbacks at that point, from Jalen Milroe on down, we trying to develop. Right? We trying to develop. We trying to We hope we see something, but you're not expecting no Tom Brady shit from that man. We're not expecting that from a quarterback that's picked from like the third round, from a third round or less quarterback. You're really not expecting that, bro. The money's in the first 2 rounds for quarterbacks. That's where the money's at. After that, you get lucky. You might fuck around and get lucky, but that's pretty much how that goes. So for Cam Miller, man, he has, and I don't think I gave a grade for Malott, or Pegues. Pegues, I gave a solid A- too. I gave Malott a firm B- because I don't know what he's playing yet. I like the talent and I like the athletic ability, but I don't know what his position is, and I got to see how he transitions to receiver. So you got to get at a B-. You got to be fair. With last pick, this is the last pick. I actually really, really like this pick. I actually really, man, my guy, man, what's going on, Alex? Hey, and fire videos, you've been releasing too, big dog. You've been doing your thing as well, man. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, go tap in with Raider Alex, man, and his content, man, and he breaks down some of the draft with a little bit more film detail in there. Yeah, y'all go ahead, man. Tap in with the guy. But so we talk about our last. So with Miller, I give that one a C plus. You feel what I'm saying? Get a nice little C plus. Nothing too crazy. I don't expect him to play. I don't expect him to get no snaps. I don't even expect this man to be the quarterback of the future. That's unrealistic in my opinion. It's not gonna work, right? I don't expect this man to be the quarterback of the future. I expect him go back there, give our quarterback 2 a run for his money and make him work, but not quarterback 1. Not expecting that. So for me, I gave that a C plus. That's a C plus for me. So we got 2 C's, right? One for Charles Grant, one for Cam Miller, and then we talk about our last pick of the day, man, which is a pick that most people liked. Cody Lindenberg. And shout out to Turf, man. This is from Baby Turf School, right? This is Baby Turf School. We talking about Minnesota. And interesting, right? I'm very intrigued now to see what these younger linebackers do, right? With Lindenberg specifically. I like Lindenberg, right? I do like me some Lindenberg. I do think that this was a very solid pick in the 7th round. Now, again, what I just say, there are a couple positions where, these positions always somehow end up working out later on in the draft. You talk about linebacker, you talk about running back, those are positions that work out later on in the draft for some reason. And really, because, there's certain things with those positions that don't require too much intricacy, right? It don't require too much. It just, sometimes, are you a good football player or not? Especially in them 2 spots. But for him, bro, his point of attack is crazy, right? In the run, he has great instinct. I think he got good instinct against the run. He's real. I think he's real aggressive at point of attack. Even for being, he's 6'2", 236, could be a little bigger, but it's good size coming in. It's good size coming in. I think his coverage ability is good. It's not great, right? It's good, but not great. And I think he can use a little bit more refinement in the technique there when reading quarterbacks' eyes, because he can do it. I've seen him track the ball, and I've seen him do that. But just a little bit more consistent in that. I would say it's a little bit more consistent. He has good arm length. So he really does keep blockers off of him. You know what I mean? We talking about in the run game, that's how he's able to shed and, take on these blocks with that long arm length. You know what I mean? He's able to keep people out of the frame. So that's good, bro. I like the aggressiveness that I see from him on film. He attacks the ball, right? So we had a couple guys that was playing linebackers before that they was waiting for contact and wasn't trying to initiate the contact, right? So I like that he's gonna do that, right? He's gonna go in there, stick his nose in there. Obviously, I mean, it's his first year, so obviously you'd like him to bulk up a tad, but that's gonna happen after this. I like his instincts, dog. He has good instincts. Now I know he's a 7th rounder, bro, but he has very, very good instincts in trying to seek out the trash. Right? Seek out the trash, get to the ball carrier, dog. Don't spend a lot of time bullshitting with the offensive lineman, bullshitting with whoever's trying to block him. He's gonna get him off, shed him, get to the ball carrier. Right. So I like this guy. I don't know what he'll be able to do in the linebacker room. Not for the talent wise. It's just like, dog, this linebacker room got so many similarly looked at players where I'm like, dog, you got Eichenberg in there. You got goddamn Gainer in there. You got a lot of young guys in here that you're not really seeing the super, like, oh, am I going to get a superstar out of him? Like, no, they'll be solid maybe. With Lindenberg, I expect kind of the same thing like we had with Eichenberg. We were excited, but then when we was in there, didn't really show anything, didn't really do anything. I expect, honestly, a little bit more than that. I do can't come out here and give us a little something. But because again, this linebacker room is terrible. So he has a chance to play, right? If he comes in and does his thing, he has a very, very good shot to play because of this linebacker room and where it is. But I don't know how it will go because of the veterans on here. How well do they like Devin White? Is he going to, will he play above Devin White? I don't see that. As far as me, I see him playing maybe above some of the other guys, right? We just talked about him, the Eichenbergs, the Gainers, like these guys. So I think he'll play there. For me, I gave this one a B+ because I do actually like this pick. I do think he seeks out the trash well. He has good instincts. And just where you got him, just for the simple fact of where you got him, I like, right? I definitely like. So that is the draft and all their grades. Overall, for me, solid B. Solid B grade for me, bro. Like, that's where I'm at. The whole entire draft, just in my opinion, what we've done, all the grades, my final grade for this draft is a solid B. Field needs, got players with potential, got players that can play immediately. And those, opinions will vary. But I'm at a B. Now again, there are some players that I like more, than other people may like, but still don't really matter, man. I think for me, bro, it wasn't my first choice. Like I was telling people, it wasn't my first choice. Now that we got, I'm okay, right? It is what it is because I'm like, all right, I do expect him to change the run game, but I don't expect him to come out here and well, let's not say that. What I do expect is 1,500 yards. Let's say that. We got him, and I'm like, I didn't really want him at first, but I could see the talent, and cool. Now Alex has sold me on the fact that of this generational talk. They've sold me. So now I want 1,600 yards. I want that. You know what I mean? I feel like he can get that. He's got the receiving and all that. At least for the simple fact of like him changing the run game, the mission will be accomplished, right? How much he changed the run game is where it's to be determined. I'm already seeing excuses. Oh, we don't know what the offensive line will look like. Well, shit, we said that before the draft. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want to burn him out or give him too many carries. Shit, Boise State didn't care. Boise State gave that man goddamn 40 carries at times, bro. We still took him top 10. So I don't want to hear about that burnout shit now. It's too late, right? It's too late. If he's a top 10 running back and we took him and all the talk that all y'all was on there, better not be no backtracking. 1,600 yards, 20 to 25 carries. That's where I'm at. And if I'm not getting that, if I don't get them stats, oh, Alex, bro, yeah, I might be the most hated Raider content person on YouTube for the shit that I'm gonna talk to people. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. 3 picks would have made the difference from B+ to where we are, which is C. Y'all don't listen to Turf, man. Turf is hating today. Turf is trying to do his best to be a hater. But he's trying. But for me, like I said, I'm higher on certain players than other people are. So it's, I can see why some people would give it a C. But I get context, bro. There's certain times where we fucked around, we traded back and all the extra things. So I see it, man. That's just me. I give it a complete B plus for me. That's where, not even B plus. I say solid B, huh? B. I saw Nav Man's grade and it fucked me up. B. I'm a solid B. That's where I'm at. You got potential, you got starters, you got depth. It's what we needed, right? That's what we needed. I see some people, where y'all at? Where everybody at? Well, Turf says C. I know Turf gives it a C. Nav gives it a B plus. Raiders Till Death gives it an A. Okay. Where everybody else at, man? Where y'all feeling with your grades, bro? Where y'all feeling with your grades? Oh yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in with my guys a little bit later. Oh shit, I think they about to go live now. Did I just go live the whole entire time until the Raider connection came on? Like, bro, it's too damn long for me. Too damn long. But I had a draft. I ain't had a live in 2 days, so y'all already know. I had to come with some real deal heat. My guy, man, Loon, he says B. Okay. Give it a solid A minus, just because all them receivers we got, like, damn, I guess better to have them and not need them. Okay. So A minus. Raider Alex gives it a B plus. Okay. A minus overall. I think we all around in the same territory. It's not bad. I've seen some, of course, people will give us a top 4 grade of the draft. I try not to pay attention to that because they'll easily give us a top 4 grade of the draft, and then they'll fuck around and say we just drafted all bust a month later. So I'm not going to pay attention to that, but there's some people that don't like our draft. Intriguing. I would like to know more why they would not like our draft, but I think we had a solid one. I'm not sitting here saying we had a top 5 draft in the league, though. I'm not saying that. I think we had a solid draft, very solid, but not top 5 like all the ESPN and CBS and all that other shit is having us. I think that's smoke. I don't like that. They trying to get us excited. They know how we do, right? Us Raider fans, we sit there. Oh my God, they great as top 5 and shit, playoffs and Super Bowl, and no, don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. Temper it down, right? We like it. Still got to be proved on the grass. And honestly, like there's still some people that say like every draft pick is going to be a superstar. It's not going to happen like that. It's just not how it goes down. We all know that, right? So we got depth, we got starters, we got potential. And that's all you can ask for in the draft, bro. That's it. So last grade, B. I would have given them an A if they would have drafted Shedeur. We can't, apparently though, MGs, we can't get into it, bro. We can't talk about that anymore. And really though, I have a sickness. I get detached way too quickly, right? Like for me, I was all with Shedeur, but now that he ain't here and he with the Browns, I could care less. I'm being 100% honest. I can honestly care less. I'll root for him if he's playing somebody else and I'm watching the game and I'm like, all right, let me see. But as far as like talking about him on this channel and on the extra, like I've dropped it. It is what it is because we focused on the squad, right? We focus on the squad. As much as I want a player, it is what it is. If he's not on the squad, then he's not the game. It is what we got to move on, right? We got to move on. But would have been nice. Would have been nice to have that and see what that would have done. But that is the show, ladies and gents. I only got one question for y'all, and I've seen it floated around everywhere. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't leave here without asking y'all this question. Because it's on my mind all day. And I need y'all to answer this. And some of y'all that are in this goddamn chat, y'all will answer it for me. Hopefully I spell this right. Yeah. So this has been going across my mind all day, bro, and I want y'all to answer this for me because I'm dead ass in a deadlock on my not my TRS group chat, but with my other group chats, I'm on a deadlock with this. Y'all been seeing this 100 men versus 1 gorilla debate? Hey man, first of all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm on the man side, right? I'm on the man side. I'm telling y'all that right now. I think 100 men can do the job. I really do think 100 men can do the job. I think people are forgetting the sheer quantity of numbers and shit that have to do. Like 100 is a lot of people, right? I don't think a gorilla can run through just about 100 people. I'm not seeing that. I mean, but y'all let me know. I've been seeing this debate all around Twitter, all around this and that, dog. For me, dog, I ain't gonna cap. And we gonna end it off here.
But I have to hear from some people, bro, because I've been having debates about this for about like pretty much for like a week now. I've been having a debate about this topic, this very topic. Man, please, y'all on your own with a gorilla. You have no idea. You think, hey, bro, what? See, this is where I'm gonna get you, Turf. This is where I'm gonna get you, bro. If we're all like 1v1 versus this gorilla, like, okay, then like by all means, like you got it, right? We're 1v1. Nobody's gonna inflict no damage. But if we're attacking in waves, that's different. That's different. There's no way the gorilla has that much stamina to deal with 100 people. If I'm sending waves of 20, right? Now, keep in mind, we got to go into it saying that the first 20 is gone. For the first 20 people, it's going to get real critical, right? We understand that. But it's still, though, after that, dog, you got to be tired. After he's done dealing with them, right? we have a chance. There's got to be a chance. Let me see. 100 men can. The first 10 to 15 are going to die. Oh, yeah. It's like I said, bro, it's going to be real nasty work that gorilla going to do with them first 10 to 15, 20 people. He going to do y'all real dirty. But after that, we just got to understand, bro. There's beauty in sacrifice. We got to understand that point. My boy, his stick says gorilla. Nah, I've been having this debate all week, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I'm on the men's side. I might be delusional, but if we coming at waves, I think we can do it, bro. I think we have a shot. I ain't even gonna cap. Now if the gorilla get to biting and throwing doo-doo and shit, then it's over. It's a wrap. We can fuck around, tie it up now. It is what it is, bro. You let them have that. But and again, if we attacking one by one, you know, and if a majority of us are this hue, we see the first dude get ripped in half. Oh, it's over. Yeah, we lay it down, put the white flag out. that's pretty much it, dog. But hey, man, y'all already know what it is, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate everybody that is here, man, that is tapping in with the rundown. As always, man. Hey, we sometimes don't be the largest crowd in this mug, but I know like the people that do tap in, people that we be having the conversation. I be having the conversations with. I appreciate y'all, bro, because we be coming on here. We have real conversations, man. We come out here try to do too much, talk about rumors, talk about this, and that. Yeah, we got opinions on things, but it's all football. You know what I'm saying? And I always appreciate y'all, man. Coming out here and just you don't understand, bro. There'll be some days I'd be like, damn, I really don't want to do a show today, but it is what it is. Because of course, if you want to make something great, you gotta continue. But y'all make it easy. You feel what I'm saying? Coming out here, even on the days I'm like, I don't really feel like going for this long. Like I swear to God, I was like, I'm only gonna go an hour today because I wasn't feeling it. And here we are at 7 o'clock. You feel what I'm saying? Because the conversation got so good. I messed talking with y'all, bro, as always, man. So again, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, man, because y'all be making this shit real enjoyable. And again, we trying to make this the better or the best Raider YouTube channel there is, dog. So y'all already know what time it is, man. Make sure y'all share this thing out. We trying to get to 3K subscribers. We got that Geno Smith jersey that we giving away, as y'all know, man. So once we get to the 3K, we giving away that Geno Smith. So make sure y'all sharing this out, tapping in. And as we always say, man, on here on the rundown, we keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown, man. Y'all be safe. We got blunts and breakdowns tomorrow with my guy Mike. It is a recorded episode, so y'all be straight. But we're watching some tape on Jack Besh, Dante Thornton tomorrow, Thursday, 5 o'clock Pacific, or 6 o'clock Pacific time. We're watching tape. Tap in with us. Till then, man, y'all be safe. And I will see y'all live on Saturday morning with my guy Jay and our special guest. Till then, peace.